All right. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Alliance Live Show. Number 113, baby. So we're ready to rock and roll. We've got a lot to discuss. So, first and foremost, I want to go ahead and say, I guessed this 100%. Okay, I totally knew this was happening, but so did like about a million other people. So, I don't feel that special. But I mean, we literally had the live stream just discussing this the other day, and then it happened, like, we found out about it the next day. So it was pretty interesting. If we had streamed one day later, we would have been able to cover it. But we're here now to talk about it, and we'll talk about General Anakin, and we'll talk about, his impact on the meta and, all that stuff. But before we get there, let me do a little introduction here for some of the wonderful folks that do come here every week and are my co-hosts. So first and foremost, from the channel Operation Metaverse with TMoney, and the longest running co-host that I have on the stream here from the beginning, good old Maurice.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, buddy?
Little tired, man. The event took a while on Friday night, and then, of course, my Gamecocks beat Georgia yesterday, so it was a little pretty festive evening. So, yeah, it's
now
ready to go.
Now we're also joined by the lovely and beautiful Avinash. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
From the Boba's Alliance. Also, check out the link in the description to their channel and their weekly podcasts. And we're joined by the lovely and beautiful RangerJ1999 from the Reality Skewed Gamers.
How dare you say I'm lovely and beautiful? You forgot a sexy bitch as well. So
That's true. That's true.
I am capital. And by capital, I mean I still can't feel my body. So
Okay.
holy, I'm going to say a cuss word. Not a bad one, but a little one, because holy shit, this event. That's the only time I'll ever cuss. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my
nightmare
Jesus
weekend.
and baby Jesus. Wow, just words are hard.
So I guess, we got a lot of people that feel a certain way about this. And, we'll dive right in. So, first and foremost, how many of you got General Anakin? I did not. So I'm not going to be able to be a part of the party. But I think that I'm okay, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. But how many did all of you get General Anakin except for me?
Well, for that, I blame your mods for this failure. But,
Okay.
but yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only on one account.
Well, because there's no possible way anybody would
No
put themselves
way.
No,
through
there
those.
wasn't. Honestly,
Actually, no,
so I
take
just
that back. Fourth Okage thing got it on his main and his alt. But
No, thank you.
I
Yeah,
think
no.
yeah, I think Dada Jordan did, a couple other people did,
Yeah.
but my tunes for the most part were just not quite there because you have the minimum that they say you should have. Well,
that's nonsense.
yeah, that's a joke. And then you actually need 5 times at least more than what their minimum requirement is.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and I only had like 4 times. So I just figured, okay, what's my best account? And I'll just go for it from there. I did have to spend like, I think I spent like $50 or something like that just to get a couple of characters, finish off the G13 and a couple of relics. And then I was able to do it, but it still took a long time. And it was, by the time I got everything modded correctly, turned order correct and everything, it was just a matter of RNG to get it. And that took a long time. And I've been helping some other people do it too. Matter of fact, I just got somebody, I didn't have time to do it because I was doing the live stream. I modded everything, got everything, told him what he needed to do, and he got it. So
Yeah,
he's
I've been
extremely
doing that.
happy.
I've been doing that all day today with folks, looking at their stuff, and Jesus.
I haven't even started my TB yet on 8 accounts. So I'm going to be up all night doing TB.
Well, I mean, it even affected my GAC because, I mean, okay, well, I can break down what I went through. And I know you went through some hell there too, good on Maurice, you and TMoney. So Friday event launches, right? I'm up at 3 a.m. with the psychopath who is Loki, who always, when these big events come on a Friday, these 2 days events, we do the same thing with Mallet, wants to stream. So I'm up at 3 a.m. with Sir Loki, the lightsaber builder. We spent about 2.5, 3 hours streaming it. He didn't get the phase 4. And then I had to get some rest. So I took a couple hours rest, went and worked out real quick, came back, did the lunch stream. So did the lunch stream, came back right after the lunch stream. And actually, we didn't even do the lunch. Did we do the lunch stream? No, we went. It was just basically me streaming after that. The first day, it took me 10 hours of streaming. Basically, it took me forever to get through phase 2. See, phase 1, I mean, it was like done. Phase 2 took forever. And then we got into phase 4 because phase 3 is a joke as well. But I was too exhausted, I was too tired, and I needed to do some remodding again. And at this point, Arena was secondary, GAC was secondary. So I wake up, I immediately at 10 o'clock, ate something real quick, passed out, literally got up at 7 a.m. to go work out again because I got this half marathon to train for. Grab something real quick to eat. We have the Jedi Academy, so we do 2 hours of Jedi Academy, and it's all GAS, right? And then right after that, I did JAC, and it was a dumpster fire. I was not into that JAC. I did all kinds of just ridiculously stupid things because I was tired of. I just was not focused and just not thinking. Then right after that, it took me 6.5 hours to finally get him unlocked. So in all, just for streaming the event, it took me in all doing it. It took me really about 15 hours to beat this. Insanity. Just insanity. And I think I must have set a Guinness World Record for attempts. I literally sat in my desk doing it over and over and over. People were just in I think they were more in the thrall that I just had the perseverance just to sit there and keep doing it until I finally beat it. So for you guys that got it, congrats. For those that are still struggling with it, I've talked to a lot of you. It has gear matters. It's still RNG. I've had people that are struggling with Relic 1s that are like, I cannot get this thing done. What am I doing? And we're looking at mods and stuff. This is insanity like I've never seen it before. So that's my story.
Slash just said it best. He said, I got him, then didn't want to play the game for the next 2 days. I think the entire community agrees with you, man.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I didn't have that much. It didn't take me that long. But But it's only because in P4 I was just very strict. Like Asajj didn't crit, retreat, try again. Asajj crit, Jordan got stunned, retreat, try again, retreat. Like I just Logan. If the first 4 moves didn't go my way, just dip out and just kept going and going and going.
Right.
You know, and it's not a. I was really disappointed in this event just simply because it's labeled an epic confrontation, which is as is Malik's, and Malik's was fun because it was like a puzzle, right? Like your characters mattered, but you're figuring out the puzzle.
As long as you got in there with the power, right? It was more about the
you knock
the
down
experience and the fight, figuring it out and what to do where and
the strategy and puzzle.
Strategy, and this one was just like, well, whip out your private parts and let's see what you got. And good luck to you. You know, it's like, this was Padme on crack.
And so, how do you guys feel it's affected your guilds?
I don't think it's. I didn't sense too much hostility. People are upset with the event, but no one I don't think anybody really quit.
I think it's been across the board for me.
I think anybody that knew they were going to be able to get the character went for it, and then anybody that knew that they were way off just decided to hold off, and that's kind of where I was at. I was just way too far on Shaak Ti and Anakin Starfighter to do it, so I basically just reserved the fact that I'm not going to get it this time, and I understand how hard it is now, so I'll just have a little bit, during that time period, I'll have time to get the characters geared up and reliced up enough so that it's a lot easier for me the next time it comes around, so that I don't have to go through the drama. Because I've heard a lot of negative feedback about how hard the event is, for sure, especially since it kind of although all the characters are farmable, I'm sure there are some people out there that speed farmed Shaak Ti and still can't get Anakin, and that sucks. If you spent $200 or $300 to get Shaak Ti, and then you didn't get Anakin, that sucks.
I think they made more off this event from the people that had the characters. I don't think they really, because you kind of touched on it. It's so overwhelming. This stuff, you either have it or you don't, right? You might be lacking Shaak Ti and get the Shaak Ti, but if you're missing Anakin Starfighter, Shaak Ti, you got to put gear on all it. It's just so out of reach. It's not like the bounty hunter event, or you get Chewie, maybe I can just get boss to 7 stars, It's just they made their money off people that had the characters, went in and realized they weren't good enough, and just kind of $100 them to death. Let me buy this relic pack and take my Asajj Relic 3. You're oh, now I still can't get it, so let me maybe take B1 up to gear 13. Oh wait, look at this convenient pack here with all the gear in it. Let me get that, and it's just over and over and over again.
As a bonus, they did sell 2 Shaak Ti packs, which got me 30 shards closer to getting her to 7 stars, so I'm happy about that. But
this was a cash trap, and let me explain what I mean by that. So the minimum requirement was 17,700. So a lot of people were excited because they're like, okay, 17,700, maybe to be difficult, right? Not even close to what you needed to do this event. Not even close. It was more in that 20, and it even says that it's in the 22,000 range, right? To really do it. And if you went on GG and you put your characters in, it would tell you, you could be hitting 17,700, but it would tell you if you had enough power to actually do the event. And if you weren't doing it, you were struggling. And what it did by Cash Trap is that those that had the requirements that went in there were they were spending, and even people I know that are not normal spenders were spending money because it was you've got the requirements, but you can't beat the event. So spend more money to get even more stuff on them. My characters were year 12 and had all the Zetas. So they're around 21, even had a Relic Kenobi, for the first fight. I could not beat it, So it forced me to get help from the fans who donated for me to get through a couple characters to relics that made the difference. But that's insanity, that they did that, and I feel it was very misleading. It was
kind of I felt like it was kind of like a switch and bait type of a thing. But so many people. I mean, I can't tell you. I really got angry the night it came out. And I don't mean necessarily at the game and like at CG, but at some of the players. And that's because there was a lot of knee-jerk reactions to how it was being played, and the fact that, 5 minutes in and they're like, oh my God, this is just horrible, I'm going to quit. And so, and it's like, really?
Those are some steep requirements. They're never in this game have there been requirements like this. I mean, now I understand that a lot of these characters, most of us that have been playing since the beginning have, right? Like, we have these characters, except for Shakti and the Starfighter. But I mean, realistically, that's kind of 15 characters required to be geared up to a high level and possibly even relicked to get the job done. I mean, that is insane.
There is no doubt that you need relics.
Yeah,
people were doing it. People were doing it without. That just proves kind of to the RNG element of it. Like, there are people
I had to say me and you, Maurice, I think have the biggest problem with this. I know I did, was the RNG. I saw people, as I mentioned, that had relic characters that were like, I can't beat this damn thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are people with relics. Like, they'd have gear, they'd have Ahsoka relic, they'd have GK relic, they'd have Padme Gear 13 relic, and they're struggling. But then on the other end, there are people that have that one guy that we shared the post with when you tried the strategy, had a Gear 9 Shakti. That's crazy. That's insane. That's just how all over the place this was, and how every single run can just go one, like, completely left to right. Like, it's unpredictable.
Well, typically when they do an event like this, right, it's correlated to 3 characters that you already have probably well geared and have had for a long time, and then they add 2 pay-to-play characters that they probably dropped about 3 or 4 months ago, that then went free-to-play about 2 months ago, and then you have that 2-month period where you can get a head start, and then anybody that's not done then has to spend a little bit to get the characters to 7 stars and gear 12 or gear 11 or whatever it was for the event in the past. This time, it was completely different. I mean, again, it also was kind of blindsiding because, to be honest with you, if I was a betting man, I would have bet on the clones being the characters that were required, and I didn't expect them to throw in ships into the event either. So it's just kind of a shocker. But I think it's going to be okay, and let me tell you why. Okay, I think that this is just a first of all, I think Anakin's going to be the meta for the next couple months. Okay.
We'll talk about that here in a second.
We'll talk about that in a second. But besides that, I think that very soon, pretty much December, we're going to be getting Rey. All right. So when Rey comes, there's no way they're going to release a hero's journey character that is not better than General Anakin. I promise you.
You're wrong. I promise you, you're wrong on that 1,000%.
General Anakin. Maybe they'll work together.
I'll bet you my soul that's not going to happen. She'll be really good, but she is not taking. Let me tell you, just since we'll get into this, General Anakin relic. I was watching Arnold and Mobile Gamers testing today, and they ran the gauntlet against General Anakin. Arnold was putting the damn thing on auto, and it was autoing win against relic. It didn't matter what team they tried. CLS, Darth Revan. It just went down the line, and you saw General Anakin just wrecking the living crap out of this. Now, I think they're going to do a good job with the JTR, her next iteration, and I think Kylo. But no way in hell after this event, just like with Malik, are they going to bring in a character that's going to overtake it. I guarantee you for the next 6 months, at least General Anakin, and maybe a little longer, is going to be the new meta. It destroys Darth Revan. I saw them in a match today, relic characters on both sides, where they killed Malik before the other 4. And I was like, get the hell out of here.
No, he's broken character. But what I'm saying is I think that this is kind of like what they did with Jedi Knight Revan, where you get a character and then 3 months later it's Darth Revan. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you. Okay, they're gonna make money off Rey. And if she's not OP, they're not gonna make money off of her. And my gut is that Rey will, and if you think that Anakin is OP, wait till you see Rey, and or maybe it's Kylo. I don't know. It depends on who they're really trying to feature out of the movie. If Kylo has a redemption arc in this movie and becomes a hero, then there may be a different situation going on there. Maybe the character will come afterwards, because from my experience, the people at Capital Games don't know everything about these movies. They have no idea. Going into the movie, they find out about these characters. They get little snippets in advance. Like sometimes they get, a little bit of info here, a little bit of info there about side characters, but they're not going to know definitively like which characters they're going to put into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, other than maybe Rey, like the Jedi version of Rey, right away, and maybe Kylo, But what I'm saying is they typically will find out about the side characters and the rest of the meta that will go around Rey later on. And I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe there'll be other characters from the movie, or maybe it'll be existing characters that get reworked. I don't think it's going to be Resistance. I think she's going to be a Jedi, and I think there's going to be other Jedi that get reworked. I mean, again, we've been talking about Mace Windu and other characters like that. I mean, they could make a Rey team. I just have a feeling that Rey's going to be even more OP. So what I'm saying is, guys, just wait for Rey.
No, Rey will be like Padme.
This character is stupid broken. Like, it's bad.
It's really bad.
But but keep in mind, somebody's going to figure it out, right? Somebody's going to figure it out in the first couple weeks here, and then they're going to nerf it and change it to where that's just like they did with Malik. Like, oh, Palpatine can beat this team? Oh, no. That was just an oversight. Then they changed it. So if you guys come up with stuff to beat this, don't fully commit your resources, because if you make a video on it, let them see it. That way they can decide if they want to nerf it before you guys go all in on a certain team. So this is it's just a lame character. The kit was specifically designed to make him immune to existing meta teams. You're like,
it counters them. Like, everything that's in the game right now has no shot. I mean, you can once in a while get some RNG, but he starts off with taunt. They were trying all kinds of stuff, and there's still some more testing done. But holy God, I mean, he just sits there, and those clone troopers behind him with Ahsoka. Oh God, Ahsoka under him. She is brutal, man, and so is Echo. Echo will kill you with one grenade.
I think it's kind of lame, to be honest with you. I mean, he spends half the time on his knees the entire match. I mean, like, he's literally, you know what I mean?
But he's not. I mean, he's brutal. They did a phase 1 of the Rogue Sith and did, without even trying. Arnold was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. He got 20% easily.
There's a GIF floating around. It's like Anakin goes down. It's like, Anakin? And then Rex goes down. Help! And then another Rex goes, we're not, let me see if I can find this GIF. It's pretty good. The whole Anakin just pops back up. Just like, oh.
I mean, he'd be interesting. I mean, listen, he's definitely cool, and I definitely wish I had him, okay? But what I'm saying is, like, I think that I think that there is other stuff coming. I don't think we're going to be looking at a meta as long as the Darth Revan meta was. I don't think so. I think it'll be shorter.
No, not with what we just went through.
They keep releasing broken character after broken character, just trying to break the previous meta. It's an ongoing cycle, a vicious ongoing cycle.
Well, the problem is they need to get away from focusing on characters. It mentioned before about having more balance with teams, which there is in GAC. Like, if you look at GAC right now, there is a lot of balance. There's counters and all kinds of stuff, right? But then they always introduce a team that's like, for 3 to 6 months, it's like, sweet good Lord. If you see that team, for a lot of people, it was Darth Revan in GAC, where you were like, I can't beat that. It's going to be like that with Anakin for a while. Now he is weaker at 5 stars and probably 6 stars, right? But once he starts ramping up to gear 13 and higher, he's stupid. Oh God, he's so stupid. He really is. I was watching all that today, and I was just sitting there going, "Oh my God, he is really, really dumb."
I mean,
the saving grace will be that it's going to take some players a while because you have to get to get them and get him to 7 stars.
So is the consensus here that Anakin is way too OP? He's broken,
big time.
Well, yes.
I hear the opposite too. That he's crap, and he's not that good. And then I hear, yeah, he is. And
Don't
so,
you have a
That's that's blasphemous. That's blasphemous.
Well, yeah, but a 5-star, yeah, he just doesn't have the tools to be. He's not at his full potential, right? So he can be beaten, because people are saying, "I beat him with CLS." Well, of course, he's 5 stars, right? It was when Malik first.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
But once Malik got to 12 and started getting to 13, people are like, "Uh-oh." Wait a minute, this isn't good. And so it's like, this is.
Do we have a kit? Do we have a kit yet on ARC Trooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Do you think ARC Trooper will be a good compliment to Anakin? Do you think he'll be OP?
Yes, with an extra turret in there firing with all the assist mechanics. Oh yeah.
That could make something that's already OP even more OP.
But they stated that in the post when they talked about Anakin. They wanted him to feel like a raid boss character too, and by God, did they achieve what they said?
But that's the problem. I mean, what I'm saying is like, okay, so for example, with Darth Revan, right? Like, when Darth Revan came out, it was clear that something was missing, right? Like, we knew when you were playing with Revan, like, wait a minute, this can't be it. Like, there has to be, Malik has to be coming, another character has to become, there's no way that it's just Revan. He's not good enough, It seems like Anakin by himself is good enough. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I normally like when Jedi Knight Revan came out, it was the combination of like Jolie and Bastila and Kenobi and all those characters, and especially Yoda, that made that team really good. It was the combination of Bastila and Revan and Malik that made that team really good. So now we're saying that basically they're just going to release one character that just breaks the game and doesn't matter what his teammates are. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. In either case, it's really across the entire community on how upset so many people are. And I mean, there's top people leaving. There's people I've known since the beginning of the game that are just said, that's it, I can't do any more. And in a few months, we're chasing another meta, and how hard is that going to be? And it's like, they don't want to fork out the money. But, it's like, you just kind of got to take a step back and take a breath and figure out how you really want to play this game. A lot of people want to chase the new shiny, and that's great. But if you are getting over frustrated with this, you've just got to just take a breath and go, you know what? I don't need to deal with that. I'm going to play maybe a little bit more casually for now anyway.
Yeah, Finn did that. Yeah, and Finn, has done that. He's just gone and he'll wait till it comes back around, and he's not worried about it,
Yeah, and most of mine, I'm not worried about it. And if I got it on my big account, then I got it. If I didn't, I didn't. I wasn't going to worry about it. I wasn't going to spend the money. But I gave it a pretty good shot, and I did manage to get it. It took a couple days. But, on my other ones, I can wait, because by the time I get the get for it, or what I need for 7 stars, the event will come around again, and then I'll be able to get it, the whole thing then.
Kaya, I think ARC Trooper will definitely be marquee, and they may decide to increase the cost of a marquee character this time, just to stick it in, just to stick it up there. You know what I'm saying? Just to do it. You know what I mean? 1,500 crystals. They'll release it like the Citadel pack back in the day, 3,000 crystals for one pack. with a chance of getting 5 to 8 shards.
Oh Lord in heaven, this character, boy. Yeah, and ARC Trooper sadly will probably be marquee guy. So, and then you'll have to wait for him to come premium and farm him, and oh Lordy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but mark my words, Anakin's here, and he is going to be. He's here to stay. Boy, I tell you what.
Well, all of you should be getting the characters ready that you need, and definitely saving that currency in the store so that when the time comes, you can just drop the currency right away and farm him up. Okay, obviously he's going to be a character that gets released in the store, so if you save up the currency enough so that when Anakin comes back around, you're able to get him, you're going to be able to farm them like really rapidly because the store refreshes, constantly throughout the day. So you can buy it 4 times. What is it? 4 times a day? You know what I mean? So you'll be able to get them real fast.
I mean, if you want to use crystals, you can too. So I mean, it's pretty cheap to do a few refreshes and get into that store and get them faster that way. So.
Right, so you can pretty much have them ready almost the same time, probably almost at the same time that other people are just getting them to 7 stars from this event.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be... I don't think that's going to be like Malik.
Oh, they're going to bring back this event, probably January.
At least about... Looking at the 108 shards, if I get like 15 to 20 for each TB, I'll have them done in about 3 months or something like that. I was like, doing the math or something. Saving up all my get. So, yeah.
And if you're going after next time, there is not a single thing, maybe Malik, but there's not a single thing in that shop you need.
No.
To be fitting anything on if you're going for them next time.
There's other places to get gear too.
Yeah, there's no reason you should be farming gear 12 pieces out of there for your character's left side. Just save it. Maybe get Malik. I guess Malik you can make a case for.
Right.
You need him 7-star, but. If you're still farming Hermit Yoda, Wampa, stop, and just save it all. Like, just get yourself, finish it, get all the way up there, get it all done. That way, have all your everything ready. Like, you won't be that much farther behind. Like me, I have 2,000 get, in my face. So you think, I should have learned this lesson by now.
But you end up going, oh yeah, we're not going to.
That's not the devs' fault. That's on me for not planning. You're just wasting everything I get. That's my fault. But it's just,
not necessarily, because remember they did tell us that get one, we're not really going to use it that much anymore.
They did.
We're not going to put any more character shards in there, so it'll be great for gear, and then you can just concentrate on the get to. Liars.
Well, shame on us then for believing anything they say. I mean, that's on us too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They got me with Towson many, many moons ago, and ever since then, I don't believe. I believe it when I see it. I'm not being like negative or pessimistic.
Maurice feels really burned about that Towson thing. I mean, I've heard him bring that up many times. Yeah. Over the years, it's true that they definitely chapped Maurice's ass about Towson.
Five marquee characters. I mean,
we've got Kaya here in the chat is free to play and got General Anakin.
I did purchase.
Congrats.
I've spent about $15,000 in this game, Kaya, and I don't have General Anakin. So, thumbs up for you. Okay.
I didn't spend any money on the event. I mean, I purchased some Shock T marquees initially when it was released, but I didn't spend any. I just spent stuff I had for this event.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy any crystals or packs or anything, but I mean, I lucked out. It just so happened I had everything. But I don't know. But the good thing about this event, if you didn't get him, or
you know what to expect.
Yes, but the characters you need are all useful characters. A Shock T is probably the least useful character out of the whole bunch. Like the droids are required. Asajj is required. I mean, all these characters are required for. So I guarantee all those ones we use in P2, or at least Padme, GK, at least a few of them are going to be required for the light side version. I'd like to see Shock T kind of required just because she's a requirement for this, and just that way if people did go a little overboard and maybe bought some Shock T packs they didn't want to buy, whatever the case is, you purchase Shock T some way or another, you do get a little bit of return, for your investment there. Like you have a required character. So I mean, I kind of want Shock T to be required now. So it's just like,
yeah. I wish we had a little bit more choice in what we could have had to use for characters on a team. Because, it's like Asajj lead with the droids. It was like, oh, man, really? It just didn't. I just felt it didn't work that well.
So
and I would
strange. Yeah, to have Asajj lead.
It was like, yeah. She might be a separatist, but it doesn't mean that she jives with the rest of the separatists.
So what's going on with Asajj? She got a rework, or she's getting a rework?
Oh, I don't think so. I think they just did this to make your life miserable.
Yeah, I honestly, I think they just kind of put some names in a hat and then drew out who was going to be the leader and then just formed the teams after that. They didn't care whether it had synergy or not.
Just because Asajj lead over Grievous just does not make sense, but it has no synergy with that team whatsoever, which made the event so much freaking harder.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that free-to-plays that had the events, they had farmed the characters and were in a position to, a lot of them, not all, but I mean, a vast majority were like, they're free-to-play, they got the characters, Gear 12, maybe one relic, but it wasn't the right relic character, and they went to that event and they don't spend, and they were just frustrated to hell because they're like, what is this? What am I doing?
Honestly, it's like, okay, this character and this character and this character should have relics on it, because if this is going to be used, this is how it works. And you go in and you needed a whole nother set of relics and not necessarily the ones you just relicked. Like Droideka. Droideka was extremely essential in Phase 4. And I was like, I only had a G12 Droideka, and it just got smashed every time. Finally, it was like, okay, crap, I'll just put the G13 gear on it, which took forever because there was a piece of gear you could not farm or anything. And I just kept refreshing my shipments and stuff and hoping to God that I would get it in there. And I did. I barely got it. So then I got G13. It was like, okay, let's work that. Oh, failed miserably. Oh, let's take it up a couple of relics. So I ended up having to take it to Relic 4 before it was effective and I could get it.
You know what's the most upsetting about this whole thing is, I mean, why did we even get this Anakin? I mean, realistically. I mean, literally, it's the same exact Anakin with shoulder pads. Nothing different. Okay? What this Anakin is like maybe it's 6 months older than the other Anakin or younger? I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, the only thing I can imagine is they wanted to cash in on Anakin again, and they realized that everybody already has Anakin. We can't make money off this guy, so we have to create another Anakin. We'll just throw some shoulder pads on and give him some really OP abilities, and but I don't get it. Like, why did we didn't need, like, there's definitely a distinct difference in all the Hans that we have in this game, right? They're all from different eras, different movies. Okay. This Anakin is exactly the same as the other Anakin. They're from the same era, the same time, and they're both Clone Wars Anakin. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just they realize, like, oh, we already did this and we screwed up. We didn't release him correctly initially. Let's just create another Anakin. What can we do? Let's throw some shoulder pads on. You know what I'm saying?
Let's give him
let's make sure he's sure. Let's make sure he's not unsure.
Let's turn him into the 1980s Anakin.
This is basically. I mean, you could make this. This could just be a character skin. For the same character.
And the thing is, we fall for it every time. We fall for it every time, hoping beyond hope that it's going to be something that, we will use or, can add diversity to arenas and your other game modes. And it does, but at what cost?
No, Minato, I agree with you 100%. I do definitely want more characters, but there are a lot of other characters that they could have done first before this. I mean, I'm not saying...
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'm not saying they couldn't have done this at some point, maybe 2 or 3 years from now. Okay, let's just throw some shoulder pads on Anakin. We'll give him another Anakin, that's when you run out of ideas.
The outfit is from Battlefront 2 and the Clone Wars. This is Clone Wars. This is General Anakin's outfit.
I'm not trying to. I'm not hurting your feelings, okay? I'm not trying to hurt your feelings.
Come on. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason this character is being released is because Season 7, Clone Wars, getting ready to launch, new Disney Channel. I mean, there is method behind the madness.
But what I'm saying is what would make a lot more sense would be Padawan Anakin, right? Like the one we saw in the game in TB, right? Like that makes sense. We don't have a Padawan Anakin. That would be a different character.
No, that's coming out soon, Riemann. Don't you worry, buddy.
Probably.
Yeah, he'll be more OP than the other two versions of Anakin.
How is that possible? He's a Padawan. He shouldn't be strong. He shouldn't be stronger. It's ridiculous. All right.
It's no different than Sith Marauder just one-shotting everything in sight. Doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
It's just.
Like I said, I mean, I kind of felt like, the next meta should be something new, and I don't know. I mean, this is new. I mean, whatever. I just think that it's. I'm really hoping that I'm right, and that Rey comes out, and none of this matters in 2 months, and CG just laughs their way to the bank. Get Rey. Rey's the new meta. Do it. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not allowed to use Anakin with Rey. Rey's gonna have she's gonna have she's gonna be like a different kind of Jedi, like new era Jedi, and that'll be her faction tag. And
new car smell Jedi.
I was just thinking that.
New era Jedi Rey. You know what I mean?
And new car smell era Rey.
Car smell era Rey. Yeah, new car smell Rey, and she'll have a synergy with a select few characters that they choose to throw into the marquee store. That'll be the way that works.
Science. I don't know. I'm kind of with Ranger on this one. That's I think the new anything for the new movie will be like General Grievous Padme type tier. So
but when has that ever been the case? Every time the movie comes out, the character is OP. The original Rey was broken, right? The original Rey was knocking people out. She was breaking. The original Rey wasn't broken. I don't know
what kind of history you remember, but she was meta for a hot minute, and then what?
Rey with the stick? Stick Rey? The stick Rey was ridiculous.
Stick Rey? Are you talking about Stick Rey? I'm talking about JTR.
I'm talking about stick. I'm talking about. Listen. Before
protection in mind, there was a
scavenger Rey.
Stick Rey.
Scavenger Rey. The only.
Scav Rey.
First of all, I only call her Stick Rey because Master Kylo calls her Stick Rey. And he's like Stick Rey with his accent, and it's funny. It's hilarious. Stick Rey. He calls her Stick Rey. It's great. But I mean, but I love it. But
a little unprovoked.
But the first Scavenger Rey was absolutely ridiculous when she came out. She would knock people out of the game. One hit. She was a one-hit character. And she had that triple attack when there was no protection at that time was broken, right? And then Rey Jedi Training was also broken. I doubt very much.
Sorry, she was not.
She was the meta.
No.
She was the meta for an extended period of time. So I'm
saying
about
3 weeks after she came out, because everybody was like, "Ooh, she's shiny," and then everyone was like, "Wow, a lot of shit counters this."
Oh, look at my Night Sister, the Gear 9.
Rey Jedi Training was not the meta for 2 weeks. She was the meta for a long time. Okay.
No, sorry, Remon. That is. I've got video proof. I've been covering the meta as long as you have. Finn, everybody in the channels, the chat's like calling you out on that one, brother. That one's not the case.
Rey Jedi Training was not awful. She was definitely meta.
No, she's not awful. She's not awful. She's a really good character, but she was never like meta like we've seen. Like really, this game changed. This game changed once Traya hit the board, and it started up in this. And I give Finn a lot of credit because he first brought this point up. Once Traya came on board and her kit was revealed, it's been just upping ever since. First we had Traya, then we got Jedi Knight Revan. Jedi Knight Revan led to Darth Revan and Malik, and now we're at the Anakin version, where it is like one team is just so overpowered, right? And that's what's happened, because before Traya came, there was a lot, if you go back and look at the meta, it was very diversified, right? We had all kinds of teams that were kind of making up different parts of the meta, right? But once Traya hit, that's when we started seeing those Pac-Men come, and it would ebb and flow to the new character. You know, Traya, then Jedi Knight Revan came in, and then it ebb and flowed, and then we had those that either had it or didn't have it, and then people started learning the lesson. and we started hoarding. And then it was like if you got Darth Revan and Malak, or you didn't have it, right? And you saw the big Pac-Man come. So yeah, I mean the meta is
But she's a hero's journey character. They're not going to release a hero's journey character that sucks. It's just not going to happen.
No, they won't suck.
No, but it'll be like Padme versus Darth Revan.
This is a 7-star unlock. This is not going to happen. I'm telling you guys.
I'm telling you, you're not following the history. Darth Revan Malak comes, then Padme comes. Now Padme is a soft counter, but she's not a hard counter to Darth Revan. Now people figure some stuff out about her, and we've had some, and relics have changed it too, but it wasn't a hard counter. That's why you see in the meta for the longest time we had 90%, even once Padme came in, that Revan was meta. Now it's changed now that relics come out with Grievous and stuff, but yeah, she'll be a soft counter maybe.
What I think that's happening here is that people don't remember correctly, because they maybe didn't get Rey the first time, and then when they got Rey the second time, she wasn't as good, which is true. But if you got Rey in December and then used her for January, February, March, she was number one in Arena every single time. And that was across the meta report, everything. I mean, it's not just me.
What we have here is we have one person on the far right, one person on the far left. Like, Rey sucked. She was great.
I never said Rey sucked. I'm just saying she was never like these other characters.
No, she's not as dominant, but she was a part of it.
No, she was meta for a hot minute.
I think what Finity and Ranger are saying is that there were counters to Rey, and there are no counters to Anakin. So the type of meta, so the type of meta has changed in the game. Yes, like now they release characters that you can't counter. Right? No, I get it. But what I'm saying is that, in relation to the way the game was at that time, the character was the most meta character at that moment, okay? And then eventually there were other characters that became the same as CLS. Do you think whenever they release the next Luke Skywalker or the next Rey, I promise you they're going to be good, and they'll probably be able to beat General Anakin. I think so.
I don't think we're getting another version of Luke till 2020.
That's possibly true, yeah.
So I mean, Jedi Luke is not coming for a while. Rey is because they don't have a choice. If CG had their choice, they wouldn't even be bringing Rey some version of her in. But yeah, we can move on. I think we've beat this horse to death and then move out of it.
Yeah. I think we need to move on. I agree. I mean, listen, it's tough to remember exactly how things transpired back then. And yes, I am stuck in 2015. When the game first came out, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, coach should have put me in fourth quarter. We would have won state. I throw a football over the mountains over there. Okay, throw the football over a quarter mile. All right, the whole thing. If I could go back to the '80s, it'd be all good. I'm just like Uncle Rico.
Science.
Just like Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico, oh my God, and Napoleon.
Just like Uncle Rico, man. Coach would have put me in fourth quarter, we would have won state. All right? That's
God, Fremont, go to another subject. I'll get my nunchucks
out. All right. So, yes, Sidious lead for 2020.
Oh, Jesus.
20% crit chance. 20% crit chance. Okay. Cool. Was it crit I think it's crit damage for Sidious, right? Was it crit damage? Anyway, we're going to move on to the meta report. Yes, I scored 4 touchdowns in one game. That's Malia Bean right there, by the way. Malia Bean joining us for the live show. Let's clap it up. I'm sorry for those of you that heard my clap so close to the microphone. I apologize if I hurt anybody's ears there, but
I don't know. I already have hearing loss, so you're not really going to affect me. So keep going, brother.
All right, but yes, hi Malia, and hi to Dutch as well. What's going on, Dutch? Hi to everybody, as a matter of fact. But let's do the meta report in the top 5. Okay, and I kind of thought, to be honest with you, that this meta report was going to be different now. But I guess I thought there were going to be at least a couple of General Anakins out here at this point. But
I don't. Not registering yet.
I'm surprised that 20 people haven't taken rank 1 with a 5-star General Anakin. But
I don't think a lot of 5 stars are going to be able to, because it just doesn't have the punch. He just can't. survive some of the stuff that can be thrown at him. You'll start seeing it once we start seeing 7-star Anakins. That's when you're going to see.
Nobody had any money left over for the chirotex.
No. That's a good point.
Somebody could use it. Like it's just like, oh,
God damn it! Good old Maurice is out of Dr. Wham.
What happened? That screamed in the microphone. My bad. It's just, oh my goodness.
Food? Who needs food?
So, I mean, nothing really to look at here. Darth Revan, but he is slowly getting creeped in on by IG-88 and all this other stuff, but I imagine that this entire pie chart will be General Anakin over the next couple months. But I think it's going to be a slow burn. I think Darth Revan still has some gas left for a little while. So, we'll see. But, you know, you guys better start getting ready for Stick Ray version 2.
Stick Ray version 2.
Stick Ray version 2 is going to have the sling blade lightsaber that you saw in the trailer. She's going to have that little snapping red lightsaber. She's going to be dark side, by the way. Anyway, let's move on to the top 10 squad members at rank 1. Oh, surprise, it's Sith. So the one thing to look at here, though, is it seems like more and more people are using Anakin. Are you guys seeing more Anakin in the arena right now?
Not at
Not
the
yet.
moment. I haven't seen anybody using him yet.
No, I don't mean the new Anakin. I'm talking about Jedi Knight Anakin.
A few teams, yeah. But I'm not.
I see people climb, but they don't leave it in.
Yeah, I've been checking just to see because I have some big time wells on my server, but I am seeing like a few are running the clones with General or Jedi Anakin at Relic 7, but no new versions of the new hotness. The new car smell Anakin has not popped his head up.
I didn't see a single team in my shard.
No, I don't think anybody's, because I think they're realizing that he just doesn't work at 5 stars, so they're sticking with the relics and stuff that they've got. Plus, they probably have nothing left after.
Is he already in the store? If you unlocked him, is he like right away?
Yeah, he was in the store.
So there's nobody that had all the currency saved up and just got him the 7 stars first day.
Oh yeah, there's a few. I think. Yeah, you had somebody, a few people send me screenshots. I'm like, God damn.
B Masu has him at 7 star.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, B Masu. Dada Jordan was just talking about his.
Yeah.
There are people that have done it. Yeah.
B Masu, you should donate your account to Avinash. Okay.
No, don't do that.
Good for them. I mean, you know what? Like
yes.
That's on me. I don't have the currency. That's not CG's fault. Like, good for them. They hoarded and it paid off. I mean, that's good. I'm glad to see it. I'll take my ass whooping in the arena for 3 months and high five on the way up every day. But at least I'm trying to dodge them instead of trying to jump over them.
Well, the interesting conversation I've seen in other places is, do you go down now to Darkside Hoth TV for Get 1? Because you can almost double the amount of Get you would get for this character.
I honestly think it depends upon how many people got Anakin in a guild. If you've got like a very few amount, I wouldn't even bother switching. But if you've got quite a few of them, it's a serious consideration whether you should maybe alternate or maybe go for 2 or 3 Hoths in a row. It just, depends on how it works out. It depends upon how competitive you are too in your guild.
McMole, by the way, will be back in 2.5 days. Okay, so you guys just need to chill out with that. I promise you. McMole made a video the day after he quit.
Right.
McMole quit?
McMole announced his retirement and then made a video the next day. Unless he just had it stored. I mean, that's possible. But I mean,
I had no time to be watching content when I was trying to do all this other stuff.
Oh God, no kidding. Yeah, exactly.
I watched a little bit of Urza's stream the night before we started. That's I think that's the only content I've watched all weekend. I'm burnt out of the game right now. That's why I'm so grumpy tonight. I'm tired of Star Wars for the week. I'm done with Star Wars for the week.
I agree. A lot of people are.
Not that I'm challenging his conviction or anything like that. I mean, I'm just saying that I from what I know from McMole, I think he's too invested in this game to just really quit. I think that's just more emotional than anything else about what's going on.
From what I saw in the video and that I've talked with, he's done.
I'm surprised though, because this is about to be the clone meta. What he's waiting for. I haven't seen the videos. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but
about.
he can get. I don't think he can get General Anakin, and I think it was just a tipping point for him. You know, I think the event with things that we've already discussed.
But he's like a mega whale. What do you mean you can't get General Anakin?
He doesn't want to be a mega whale anymore, and he's not having fun, and he's really sick of it. You know, he's sick of. There was a lot of stuff about the. There was a lot of stuff in the game that with this event that he really didn't like. I think, you know, you can go back and watch the videos. I know one of them that it's a 5-star unlock, but it seemed like it was going to be a 7-star, and just other stuff. You know, the get stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people upset about the get stuff.
He got Rooster saying he got General Anakin.
I know, but it was just everything that led up to that. If you go back and watch, he breaks down. First, there's a video of him talking about the General Anakin event, right? And then it's his reasons leaving, that he was just not enjoying it. He's not having fun with it. He could surprise all of us and come back. You know, he did leave the door open, saying that if the game comes back to a place where he wants it and et cetera, he can come back. But I got a good sense from that video because he was real emotional about it, and he really was like, "Hey, you know, love the community and stuff, but this game is just too much." So.
That's the most important. If you're not having fun, stop playing. It's a game. It doesn't matter if you've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in it. If you're not having fun,
I've done that before.
Right.
You know, with World of Warcraft and other games.
And I think this event just really, I think it broke people. It kind of tore away that last little bit of I like the game, and this event broke it to say I can't do this anymore. And I'm seeing mega whales, not only leaving large communities to get into something a little bit more casual, but quitting the game altogether.
Right.
I think what you see here is after about a couple weeks and a couple of hundred messages from people like, McMo, you quit? What are you doing? You know, I think one day he sits there and he succumbs to his desires and comes back to the game. I think that's what happens. But again, that's just me. This is my opinion. And honestly, if he doesn't come back to the game, then I wish him the best. And I'm sure he'll be making content for something else. I mean, you know, he's put too much time into his YouTube channel to not do that. So I mean, he'll and he's good at that. So he'll figure something out. You know, he may probably already be playing another game right now. I mean, he may be thinking about starting.
Oh, I know he is. Yeah, I know he is.
He did some Marvel Strike Force stuff for a while. He's done some other games on his channel. I mean, Star Wars was always, I guess, his main thing, but
yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. We'll see.
We'll see.
Best of luck to you, man.
Listen, we got a Star Wars movie coming out. You know, he's going to go see that Stick Ray in the movie, and he's going to be like, you know what?
Get that
you know what? I'm feeling, guys, I got to tell you, I'm feeling the magic again. You know, I don't know what it is, but something's making me...
Hey, Remon, 2015 called. It says, Remon, 2015 called. They said they want your thoughts back.
Guys, I'm feeling like maybe I want to dance a little bit. I think it's time for me to come back and start making some SWGOH videos. Maybe he just needs a little break. That could be it too. Maybe he just needs a little break, you know? But, all right, let's move on to the top 5.
Oh, what are we doing this week?
This week is going to be very, very currently relevant, okay? It's the top 5 characters to farm from the Cantina store, Galactic War store, and the Arena store.
AKA, we are running slim on ideas. That's value being for us.
Honestly, I think this is kind of a good time to tackle this because, to be honest with you, there are some characters that are better now than they were a while back. And there are, honestly, there are some newer players that don't necessarily have all these characters. And also, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, the order in which you would be farming these characters, 3 years ago, isn't the same as it is now with the character changes and all this stuff that's going on. So, I don't think we've ever done this list before. We've never done a top 5 store characters. So so this is not including the guild store or the ship store or the shard store or anything like that. It's just the Cantina store, the Squad Arena store, and the Galactic War stores, and the top 5 characters to get from those stores at the current moment. So, who do we have here at number 5?
Nathaniel Morgan said T-Bone. It's all the Rancor. Let me see here. Number 5. looking, searching, is going to be Newt Gunray. Newt
What?
Gunray.
What did you say?
Yeah, he's in the Squad Arena store. He was the one. Anybody that's played 2-3 years, he was probably one of the last ones that you formed out of the Fleet Arena store or the Arena store. But now it's a new ball game. Got a speed and potency leadership that can really, for those of you guys that don't have the blistering fast mods, his leadership is pretty dynamic and can really help you out in a pinch. Just good all around mechanics. Extortion's a really cool element that they brought to the game, and all the effects it does. It's kind of similar-ish to Plague in that it just kind of can spread on its own. If it gets out of control, your team just goes so fast. So the Separatist faction, the very, very large faction now, it's full of good characters, and they all do debuffs. And his Zeta, whenever you debuff a character, will deal additional max health damage. So he's a very, very good PvE character. Really good for the GOTB raid. He's required for the TB raid. Damage does no damage. His damage sucks. Unfortunately, he does increase skill cooldowns, but I think that is a potency check. I think, yeah, on his skill cooldown.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's that's kind of unfortunate, but that's it. But and you get the extortion going, and they cleanse the extortion. You get the prophet, I believe it is, the icons above your characters that will help them become even stronger. It's a very, very good kind of control team. Lots of good characters to build a control team in that faction. Especially for your newer players that don't have access to General Grievous yet, and that you can build a pretty solid team while preparing yourself for the future Geonosian TV. So I like him a lot. Very, very good.
Nathaniel Morgan, there's somebody right on top of you, John Moran, that says he doesn't have Newt Gunray. So I mean, there are people that don't have necessarily every character, and maybe they do. But again, this is an interesting way to look at the list at the moment, and then maybe we can, revisit this a year or so from now and see if things have changed. Maybe they'll add new characters. Again, they haven't added anybody to these stores in a long time, so, this is definitely more just looking at, like what characters have been reworked over the last couple of years, and then what's the best way to go right now if you were starting from scratch. But Newt Gunray definitely also a required character now in TB, and just a lot better all around as a character. I mean, you can kind of plug him in to some different Separatist teams, and he really helps out. Overall, he's probably the last character that I farmed out of the Squad Arena store. But it is the Squad Arena store, right? Not the Cantina store?
This is the Arena store, yeah.
Yeah, the Squad Arena store. He's probably the last character that I went for, so... So yeah, but I mean, Newt Gunray definitely worth a spot on this list, at least with the current meta. Moving along to our number 4 character to farm out of the GW, Arena, or Cantina store. And we have here Fives. So Fives sees a resurgence in necessity now because of the reworks to the clones. Fives, I mean, to be honest with you, I've never been a huge fan of the Fives character. But now that, he kind of works in conjunction with the rework to Rex, I kind of feel like he's got, a place now to be at least a viable character in TW, Grand Arena Championships, and maybe even more than that now with General Anakin, if they release ARC Trooper, there could definitely be some nice teams out there to use Fives right now.
Well, yeah, and right prior to the rework or the touch-up or whatever you want to call it, he wouldn't have made this list. But, I mean, and speed down on his basic used to be something that was pretty rare in this game, but that's kind of run its course. There's a lot of characters you get speed down now. But he does have speed down on his basic. His basic will double tap if they already have speed down, so you could include other elements of speed down to get him attacking a lot. Can be modded for offense, and the more offense you give him, if you do kill Rex or Echo, or I guess the ARC Trooper now, Fives will dive and pass that offense off to them. And Echo and that ARC Trooper with a whole bunch of extra offense could be kind of a scary thing. So do keep that in mind if you're modding. Consider that. Constant form of taunt. He gives himself taunt now when he gets his assist move, and that Rex unique Zeta will decrease the cooldown of it, so he's taunting a lot. There are other ways you can give him taunt with Kenobi lead, for example, or Shaak Ti can give him crit immunity and taunt as well. So he can taunt a whole lot on the new fives. Leadership, they did tweak it. It is it's not nowhere near the best clone lead, but they switched it from a flat 50 defense to 50% defense, which, start relicking some of these defensive oriented characters, put them under a fives lead. That could cause a little bit of problems in like Grand Arena, maybe if you don't have some of the other characters. Just a great character. That new unique you got is pretty cool. Like, you kill Rex Echo, they die, get off his stats with the Zeta, and of course he's got the other Zeta that will fuel even more turn meter to himself. Just very good overall, and his ship has always been very, very good, and we're reaching the new Galactic Republic ship meta, and that ship's borderline required for any arena team. So it's kind of a double whammy there for him.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the Negotiator now, people, probably getting closer to getting them to 7 stars. It's definitely going to be pretty much a ship that you have to have. I mean, again, fives definitely, was, for some people, a character that they like because they, loved him from the Clone Wars, and also because of was he a part of the Zodi, Princess Zodi team?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean...
because the speed down was super helpful. Like, that's, back in the day, like I said, there weren't many speed down options. He was the man. So he was definitely on the Princess Zodi team. Just because he double taps with the speed down, and you use Princess Zodi, you can constantly refresh Cody's unique, because it's double tap from him. You got hopefully 1, 2, or triple tap from Leia. You get that just the Cody thing on a cycle, a repeat. So,
well, that's our number 4 character to get from the. I believe he's in the Squad Arena store as well, right? Or is he Cantina? Let me just double check on that.
He's Cantina store.
Yeah, he's Cantina. Okay, so that is our number 4 character to get from the Cantina Galactic War or Arena store. Moving along to our number 3 character. Who's this, Maurice?
This one is Old Daka, number 3. One of the very, very few dark side healers in the game. And I mean, of course, she's great in the Night Sister team, but for a brand new player, she's pretty good helping you get through that dark side of the board. I remember when all of us started, like, it was her or Talia, the end. Like, that was the only healers you really had for the dark side. Those dark side battles, you start getting up into the higher nodes and stuff, that they were getting difficult. Just you had no heal. So there's a lot of characters now, but just double stunner base. You put that double stunner underneath the Saj, that's a double turn meter removal chance. Huge resurrection. You can resurrect all the Night Sisters, and there is a small chance you can resurrect somebody else with the heal. And her leadership is pretty good. It's a health and defense leadership. It's a sneaky good leadership for. They mentioned the 3 versus 3 is coming back. Daka lead is somebody to consider. You can, if you don't have the Zeta on Talzin or Saj, Daka lead is totally serviceable in a 3 versus 3 environment. And then, of course, her unique stacks her health every time a character dies. You got zombie dying, you got your characters dying all over the place. Her health pool just stacks up and stacks up and stacks up. And it's, but, and now that we have these Gear 13s and relics and stuff, that Zeta it's much more noticeable than it was in the past. So you get a really, really good return on that Zeta if you do take her all the way up to Relic 3, 5, 7. Pretty good Zeta. I'm actually I would, if Anakin came out and he only had 3 Zetas, my extra Zeta that I had would probably have gone on Daka. So I'm looking forward to doing her again. I got the refund on it and just never put it back on, and I'm missing it now. So, whew. All right, got to take a breath.
Yeah.
Big breath, buddy.
That made me feel like you just did that all in one breath, and it was like, wow, he's just going and going and going and going.
About to have an asthma attack. So, yeah. Zeb is not the honorable mention, Jay Solo.
All right, yeah, no, Daka definitely has a spot here. I mean, obviously this team is probably the number 1 counter team in the game. I mean, and I don't mean that in the sense that, like, they're going to beat the highest tier meta teams, but the Night Sisters, really counter almost anything in that middle tier of the meta, like, characters in TW and GAC that are kind of, not good enough to be, let's say, Jedi Knight Revan teams or Traya teams or Darth Revan teams or now General Anakin teams, but every other team, the Night Sisters pretty much can handle in some way, shape, or form. There is a counter there. So, that kind of presents, a huge benefit for not only old Daka, but all the Night Sisters. And also, old Daka is a healer and somebody that can revive characters. So, again, I mean, you can't really say enough about the fact that she's able to kind of make that Night Sister team really annoying also on defense as well. So if you have a really well geared Daka, really well modded Daka, and a really good Night Sister team, she definitely deserves to be on this list for sure. Moving along to our number 2 character to get. So she's out of the she's out of the Cantina store as well. So moving along to our number 2 character to get out of the stores, we have Boba Fett, baby, also out of the Cantina store. And Boba Fett, long time ago, was probably the first character that I wanted to get out of the store, but the character that I had to wait on because there were other characters that were more important. Like when Qui-Gon Jinn came in there, right? Like, remember when they put Qui-Gon Jinn in the Cantina store? That was a bum rush to get Qui-Gon Jinn as quick as possible. But Boba Fett, originally when the game first dropped, had one of the more interesting or intriguing leader abilities. And, he had the crit damage, bonus leader, which was great. But now, he's a key component to the bounty hunter squad. So, he's definitely, somebody that is a nice additional piece. I would say that he's still behind Django and Bosk in that group. I would consider him ahead of other characters like Cad Bane and possibly IG-88, characters like that. So depending on the circumstance, but I'm saying in the bounty hunter team, I think that Boba Fett definitely has his place for sure.
Well, it's just overall, he's got a double tapping basic that lands dots. So he synergizes with Wampa. He synergizes with the Vader lead. His second move is an AOE ability block. That's a fantastic move. And then of course his executes is a one shot. If you have him modded up well and then you're attacking certain teams, he can one shot any character on the board. Leadership is basically why he's number 2 and not lower on the list, is because it's a universal, just damage-oriented leadership. You can put any characters behind him, and they just hit significantly harder. He's a very, very good character to start out the game with. He's borderline OP in Arena for you new players. Like, if you're like level 50, 60, he's fantastic in Arena. He's got a ship. It's very average in my opinion. Maybe I'm not using it properly. I don't know. It just kind of, comes in off the bench, it taunts, and then it dies instantly because it's so squishy. I don't really get it, but it's just it's a ship, and you will need that ship more than likely. It's one of the easier ships to get your Zetas and stuff when you first get the game started. So his Zeta is not one that I particularly think is great, but it will, when he uses that Bounty Hunter's Resolve and dies, he'll pop back up full health, full protection. Not a terrible leadership for the Bounty Hunters themselves. It's like a turn meter leadership. And it has a lot of synergy with the thermal detonators. So like Zam, Cad Bane now does some thermal detonators. Dengar, there's lots of options for you there. So he's a very versatile character. Just everyone is kind of using him now under Bosk or Django. He plays a very specific role, but he's a decent standalone character, kind of utility type character. If you don't have a full bounty hunter team, he can help you out all over the place.
He was my first Zeta in the game.
Yeah. He was a lot of people's first.
I skipped that Zeta. I skipped him.
Him and Qui-Gon.
He was kind of kick butt. I had him maxed out and Zeta and everything on my little dark side team that I had way back when, and people were like, "Oh my god, he's so OP." That was great.
So also the Slave 1 is a huge part, Boba Fett being here too. He's got a great ship, and You're gonna get crucified here in a moment, Maurice, for excluding somebody. But let's move along to the number one character out of the list. You just look up a little bit.
Okay. I don't see it, but let's see.
Number one character. Who is it, Maurice? Number one character to get out of the stores. The Galactic War store.
Ventress. No, this is not a homer pick. She really is probably the best character to get out of the stores. This is not. Gom loves Asajj. It was really tough, guys, not to include Chopper in this list, but I did not include Chopper. I avoided it. But Asajj is just, of course, she's a Night Sister, but people have been using her all over the place in the raids for a very long time. She has standalone value. Any character with stacking damage of any sort, excuse me, will always be a good raid option. And she is one of those. Just a very hard-hitting character. Has a kind of an interesting speed mechanic where she gets 15 speed for every enemy that is not buffed. So she can go lightning fast, but it does kind of fluctuate. It can be hard to use her sometimes. But just an AoE that does defense down, removes turn meter, an AoE dispel, and it will dispel the foresight and everything on the board. So it gets rid of foresight, gets rid of all the buffs, and will heal the Night Sisters. The leadership is great. It's a turn meter type leadership removal and increaser. It's great leadership. P4 still one of the very, very best teams you can use in P4 as an Asajj lead of the Sith raid. Just a very, very good character. The Night Sisters in general are one of the very best kind of non-arena teams that you can put defense, offense, very flexible team, multiple leaderships. We talked about DACA. Just you start putting some relics on her, she does get some evasion. She can be a pain to deal with. So
yeah, and she is definitely a great character, and I kind of feel like, you know, now that I'm seeing what people are saying here, she probably should be either number one or number two. But you know, she's definitely great. You know, she's got the stun on the basic attack, and I mean, the dispel is huge, and her leader ability is fantastic, and she's just a great defensive TW character. She's also a great, secondary to a Mother Talzin team. So she's a great all-around character, and I think that, you know, like we may be speculating here, she may get a rework or some, you know, additional touch-ups here in the game shortly, so that make her even better. We'll have to wait and see if they do that or not. But overall, she definitely deserves a place at the top of this list. Now, don't be too proud, TMoney, because we still have an honorable mention, okay? And, you know, who's our honorable mention here, Maurice?
this one was totally a homer pick. Gotcha. Stormtrooper Han is the honorable mention. No, it's not Snips. No, it's not HK. It's Stormtrooper Han. Stormtrooper Han in the house. But no, he's a scoundrel. He's a rebel. You need him for CLS. He'll help you out tremendously starting the game. From a beginning to midpoint, kind of mid-game, he's one of the better characters you could have. Very, very good disruptive character. We all know that he taunts, gives turn meter, and fuels turn meter every time he gets hit. But he also removes turn meter. Has a chance to remove turn meter every time he gets attacked. And we are now in the Wat Tambor age. So you just stack. You get the Zeta on him, put the Wat Tambor buffs on him, and every time they attack him, they have no choice but to attack him. Every time they hit him, they have a chance to remove all their turn meter and make a really disruptive character. His leadership, he does have a leadership, and now we are into the age of Gear 13, relics, insane stats, yada, yada, yada. He's got a percentage-based leadership. It's 30% defense if you're over, a threshold, and then offense if you're under. So, the percentages are really going to stack with these relics, making his leadership kind of sneaky good and kind of under the radar. Very, very good leadership to go with relic characters for the more in-game. I'm having a lot of success with him in the Grand Arena at the extreme levels that you see here on the screen. But he should know he shouldn't be anybody's top 20 Gear 13 or anything, but a very good character. Yes, Snips probably could have gone in here.
You don't think that HK could have been higher and maybe above Boba, Boba Fett? Probably. He's just so specific to that Darth Revan team. He's just so.
I tried to make this list from characters that you can kind of use in multiple areas. You know, like HK. I mean, this list is obviously not going to be utilized by everyone watching the stream, but for newer players, if they watch this, HK is not going to do them much good, you know, because they're not going to have access to Darth Revan, Darth Malak, you know, those types of characters. But you know, Daka, while she's a Night Sister, you know, you can use her all over the place. You know, Boba.
That makes sense. And Stormtrooper Han is definitely somebody you can use right away in the beginning of the game for sure.
And that's kind of why Snips didn't make the list too, because I mean, you're going to have access to Padme. And I personally think Shakti is better on the team anyway, on the Padme team, than Ahsoka. But she does have the Dispel, the Basic, and the Cleanse. She's a very, very good character. Does have a ship. She probably deserves a spot in this list too. So that was a slight oversight on my part. Sorry. But yeah, and HK, I love HK. I've always loved the droids, and so I had a hard time leaving him off too. But I just didn't feel he's kind of specific.
I thought you forgot him. That's honestly.
No, HK. I did kind of overlook Snips. That was kind of an oversight,
but nonetheless, I mean, HK could definitely also be an honorable mention on here as well for sure. We don't have a picture of him, but you know what he looks like.
Rumors said they won't have access to Darth Revan, especially if they don't farm HK. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well,
yeah. So
might not have been my finest list, guys. I apologize.
No, I think the list was great, Maurice. Honestly, I mean, you know, the thing is, you know, we try to come up with some different lists every time. And if you guys like this kind of thing, you know, again, you know, do you know, like the video. It lets me know that you like the top fives and some of the content that we make on here. But also, I mean, you know, it's, you know, we don't always want to do the same lists over and over again every other month. You know, we want to try some different things. And, you know, we were trying to initially think of doing a top 5 characters to use with General Anakin. But
it would have been a pretty lame list. Yeah.
But that would have probably been a lame list, like Maurice says. It would have been pretty much the characters that everybody would have known what the top 5 was. So it's not really that interesting.
It would have been kind of insulting. Like, hey, guys, if you don't know the top 5 characters to use, you know, it's just kind of, it would be like taking the same character everybody knows and putting them 1 through 5. But
the mods are Maurice's mods, so they're good. Yeah, no, again, you know, we were trying to save time. We're trying to save time, and Maurice took the pictures for me. I'm not trying to hide my mods, guys. You've seen them all, okay?
He's really trying to hide his mods.
My Stormtrooper Han is definitely not this good, okay? So, you know,
realistically, nobody should be this good if your account's under like 5 million. He should not be a character.
I mean,
he's a very in-game type of character. Like, if you have him early on, use him, but don't take him. He shouldn't be, like I said, one of your first 20 to gear 13. Yeah.
Faux show. All right, so we're gonna move back to you know, some Q&A here. We're gonna get back into the game, and while we do that, if you guys have any you know, questions you'd like to ask or comments, or if you have any topics you'd like to discuss on the stream, now's the time to discuss those things. So type them into the chat. If you have any questions that you've asked so far, we'll scoop them up and we'll try to discuss them here now. Yeah, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, let's talk about that. You know, definitely, you know, appreciate your guys' feedback, you know, on the top 5s and, you know, what you guys want to see, because we do want to make it fun and interesting and not constantly put, you know, top 5 relics, top 5 characters in arena, top 5. You know, it's good to look at some different angles too, and not just for always, you know, high-end meta characters, but other characters that you can find that are kind of diamonds in the rough, like a Gear 13 Stormtrooper Han. You know? Anyway, let's move back to the home screen here, and while we do that, do we have any questions that were already asked in the chat? I know I saw one before.
Yeah, we've got some. Yeah, if you guys, I've got a few of these that you guys asked throughout the stream, but if you do have other questions, do list them now, and I'll grab them. This one dates back. This one came in
way back in 1927. We had
way back in 2015.
Back when Stick Ray was the meta.
Back when Stick Ray was dominating the scene.
Yeah, boy, you remember that fast believe?
that old Stick Ray. Let me tell you something. Poor that girl.
Whoa, my Royal Guard has 6,000 protection on it. Just go to that. Yeah.
They need to bring back the Poe Dameron meta, where it's just.
I refused to let it go. I kept going with it. Kept going with it way too long, but he almost. He was on my. He would have made a top 10 list on that list we just did.
Oh, God.
Like, that's too homery. I can't put Poe Dameron on there.
Now, without Stickray, you're not.
Just understand that every time Maurice makes a top 5, okay, there are several characters that he wants to put on every list. Okay, one of them is Chopper. Okay, the other one is Asajj Ventress, and the other one I would say is probably. I know he loves Geonosian Spy, but there's very few lists that you can actually put Geonosian Spy on, so that's why you don't see them very often. But any character like that, if they could be on a list, they're on it. Okay, Stormtrooper Han as well.
Now Chopper, I was looking through the stores and I looked at him. I smiled. I said, "No, I can't do that." So I wanted to. Chopper should have made the list. By God, but.
Just do it, man. Put what you feel on there. You know, people want to hear what you're passionate about.
Yes, just mislead anybody that might actually find that list useful. Let's just go ahead and super mislead them and tell them to go straight for Chopper. But I guess you need them. But DSP asked the first question of the night: how is there any fun in this event if it's a game that you have to be able to spend hundreds of dollars or tens of hours? Did any of you guys find that event fun? We kind of touched on this in the beginning.
Well,
I found it grueling and torturous, and
it was. It was.
I mean,
there was no enjoyment in this.
There was so many possibilities with that event, and it was like, let's just see what we can shove down their throats and see how much they can take.
I mean, if you feel this way about a one-day event, I mean, how do you feel about Dark Side GOTB in Phase 4?
I've gotten used to the fact I can't.
I can't even look at it. I have Phase 4 battles to do right now. I can't even look at it. Okay, that's what it is.
You better do them.
I will.
Get them done, goddamn.
Oh, I love the challenges.
It feels like such a chore, man. The Phase 4 battles feel like such a chore. I don't mind the other phases because I know I can clear them 4-4, but Phase 4 feels like it's just like, it's just depressing when I get to the last wave, just getting wiped out.
Well, yeah. Like, I personally didn't mind the event, but I have a pretty huge mod inventory, right? Like, if anybody watched our stream, I'd play it a couple times and go in there and just tweak stuff. Because I had options. You know what I mean? For those, we kind of talked about on our stream. Like, a lot of people disagree with us that this was a mod event. Like, I think it's just Ian made a comment on our Discord earlier today. It was a good comment. Like, it's 80% RNG. 20% mods. I feel that's pretty accurate. Like, if you have mods to play with and you can tweak speeds and still keep your offense up and stuff, then it's a little easier. But for the deeper mod inventories, it kind of prevents you from needing to go crazy with the relics and some of the gear and stuff. But I was disappointed. I wanted a puzzle like Malik. We got Padme. What did you say, Ranger? Padme on crack or something? Like it's just.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But it's over and done with. I didn't mind the event. I'm just kind of grumpy. Just kind of burnt out.
It also seems like they're shortening up these events too.
No, Malik was the same sort of frame.
Yeah, it was 2 days. Yeah, same thing as this.
I think the first time that he came out, it was longer.
No, it was 2 days.
It's
same time as this. Yeah. Came out on a Friday, ended on a Sunday.
Well, bear in mind, okay, so they realize that they make more money off the legendary events, right? Because people go crazy for these characters. So in their eyes, more people are going to be invested in going after, General Anakin than ARC Trooper, for example, if he becomes a marquee character. If you get a character like this and then you invested the money already in getting General Anakin, now it's a lot easier to make somebody feel like, well, I already got General Anakin. I mean, now I kind of have to get ARC Trooper. So it's It's kind of the reverse psychology, right? Like, like the characters usually come out first, and then you farm those characters, and then you get the prize character. Now you get the prize character, and then you have to get the pieces around him afterwards, which are going to cost you money. So
yeah. TMoney's called me out. Like I was pretty grumpy the other night because I was working on Friday. I hadn't looked at the event, but I sat in the chat with Ranger going through it, and I was like, all right, I was mentally prepared myself, and then time came, and I was grumpy, and I got super lucky in P2 and got him in like 10 minutes. Got through P2 like pretty quickly. It's super lucky. That's why I didn't share anybody how I did it really, because I just went in there and just got super lucky. But yeah, my mood changed, but now it's over. P4 was not fun. P4 I think for me was way worse than P2. P4 sucked. They both sucked. Yeah. It was all bad. But it's over. It's on with. You got them. Good. If you didn't, you got a few more hours, or just get prepared for next time.
Yeah.
And hopefully there will be, by the time it comes around again, there might be easier ways to access relics. Maybe some of the gear for the Gear 12 Plus stuff and the finishers become a little more accessible. We've already seen the 50 new pieces. You can buy them once a week in the week. Excuse me, I got hiccups. In the weekly shipments, if you want to go that route. So we're already seeing them ease the inflow of the gear, I guess. This one just came in, so I don't lose it. Who misses marquees like me? DSP. Do any of you guys miss marquees?
Well, I remember when they had like back-to-back marquees for a while, and then it's like nothing.
Yeah,
2018 was the year of the marquee, and then since then it's been like, okay, we oversaturated it now.
Well, everybody there's never balance, right? Everybody complains about one thing, and then they slap you with a whole bunch of legendary events, and you're like, oh, too many legendary events. That's the way it is. But they never balance it out. Like it's never just like a little bit of legendary, a little bit of marquee, a little bit of legendary. It's always massive amounts of either or. But
can you really ever satisfy a Star Wars fan though? Like
this day and age,
this
is probably one of the more needy fan bases in the world. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Yes. So, I would much prefer marquees over the way they used to just put characters straight in Chromium. So marquees, while you might get an unusable character, you get the character. You can start gearing them for when they are farmable, and you have them ready. You get to use them a little bit. There have been a few instances where the 3-star characters are usable. Lightside Bastila, totally viable at 3-4 stars when she first came out. Nihilus. I mean, we all had a 3-star Nihilus, just all 7-star character. Everyone's arena team had a 3-star Nihilus in it when he first came out. There are usable ones that come out from time to time. We'll see. I don't know if this ARC Trooper is going to be one of those types. You're probably going to need the gear and stuff with him to really ramp up that damage. But it's cool though. These events usually come with mods, or some other sort of prizes and goodies. You just play through it. They're very easy. Everybody gets a character for the most part if you meet the level requirements. I mean, you don't need super strong characters to do it. So it's give somebody something, I guess. And we're about due for just a freebie. We're about due for a Bodhi Rook. Some worthless character that just you have the option to get if you want. So let's see. There's a bunch of them poured in here. Let me go back to the beginning here before I get all lost. John Moran, are there any other Jedi that could get a 501st tag?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. I had no idea. Glad you guys answered that one. Nathaniel Morgan asked, this is kind of a two-part one. Just unlock Watch. What are your thoughts on the Newt, Dooku, Asajj, Zombie, Watt team? At first, I was skeptical, but starting to change my mind, especially with potential Asajj rework. What do you guys think about that team? Dooku lead, I guess he put in first. So Dooku lead, Newt, Asajj, Zombie, and Watt.
I faced a team like that GC. It did not have Zombie. Faced that team without Watt. I'm trying to remember who the fifth was, but it's pretty beatable. I mean, if you get the right team, you can just burn Watt down. And I think you're pulling, like for JC, you're pulling way too many characters off other teams that would be more viable, you know. So, I mean, it's not going to work in Arena. So if you do it in GAC, I just don't think it's strong enough or it works enough. So I wouldn't do it.
I think it's sneaky, but like it's very beatable by bounty hunters. Like Django and Dooku just lay waste to the team. But a lot of people don't keep bounty hunters in offense. I think it's hard to pull zombie off an Nexus team. I pulled Asajj off mine and ran him with Newt before we got the Geo rework. I kind of ran like a Sun Fac. I think I ran Sun Fac, Sun Soldier, Asajj, Dooku, and Newt. That team was pretty good. I feel like Watt is better used on a protection-oriented tanky tank. Zombie's fast and kind of health-oriented, right? So I've never really tried to build her for protection, though, so I don't know how high you can really get her protection. But could be. I mean, if you put it and it does well, post pictures of it, you know, that could be a good team. And then he asks how non-Asajj Night Sisters on offense. I guess Talzin with Acolyte, but you don't have Zombie, so you'd have to use, like, I guess Acolyte, Spirit, the rest of them. I mean, I guess that's all you really got. Maybe throw Nest on there. I'm not sure. Okay, DSP asks a good one. Who is having fun in game? Are you guys enjoying the game right now?
Besides what I just went through, yes, but not this shit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think we're all in that, like, there's a lot of things about the game you like. I think you said it best, Reemon, like, I need a break.
Yeah. No, sometimes you just need a couple of days, you know? I mean, listen, there are aspects of this game that I love, and then there are aspects of this game that I don't love. And that's going to happen when you had so much content in the game that's been added. I mean, listen, it's not the game that I signed up for when I first started, okay? You know, I initially signed up for a game that was pretty simple. Now it's very involved, very complex. And I'm not saying I'm not complaining about that in that sense that I always want more content. So I'm happy that they have content that is kind of for everybody, right? Like they've added ships, they've added competitive guild content, they've added individual competitive content. So they've definitely done a great job adding content over the years and making the game like a full game from that initial shell of what it was. But what I'm saying, however, is that a lot of it is required for you to progress through the game in total. So they don't make it like an optional game mode. Like, you know, if you don't do ships, it's not good. If you don't do arena, it's not good. If you don't do TB, it's not good. If you don't do Grand Arena Championships, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. But I'm saying,
you don't have Stick Ray, it's not good.
If you don't have Stick Ray, it's not good. No, but there is so, you know, there are things. Everything in the game is necessary for you to do, and that is what's kind of challenging. Is that, you know, there's so much stuff to do, and if you miss any of it, you're falling behind, even if it's just little by little. And there's already a lot of stuff to do. I mean, just getting your dailies done. They've alleviated some things like the Rancor raid, Galactic War, things like that. They've made it easier for us to get through some of that stuff. But I mean, you know, if you're somebody getting rank 1 every day in arena, somebody getting rank 1 every day in ships, doing your your Grand Arena Championships, doing your TW, and you're doing your TB, and you're doing all the other things that you have to do, farming, all these other things. I mean, you can spend, hours in this game in a day, especially with TB lately. I mean, it takes an hour to go through a phase in TB, and at least a half hour, 45 minutes. So and that's not including all the rest of the stuff that you have to do. So, and they sometimes run GAC concurrently with the TB. So it's like you have to do GAC, TB. They don't like just give you the events, one at a time. You know, you have to do all these things in one day. It's a lot. It's a lot, and if you don't care about some of that stuff, and you just want to do, TB and arena and this and just like forget about other stuff, you'll fall behind on gear or currency for some store or something. You'll fall behind. So that's what makes it challenging. And some of the other things are like the things that they do ask you to invest your time in the rewards are kind of necessary, but not good enough for the effort that you're putting in. So like like I say about Grand Arena Championships. I mean, there is a benefit there. You get some currency for a store, and you get some Zetas and things like that. But the store currency, the cost for the things in that store are absolutely retarded. Like, just terrible. You know what I'm saying? So the rewards for GAC suck, right? And then also for TW, the rewards between losing and winning are almost exactly the same, which make TW pretty much, not necessary. I mean, like, you can just post a defensive team, and if your whole guild just didn't do a battle, you'd get one less Zeta than the team you're playing, and you'd have to put 0 effort in, right? That shouldn't be the case. If you win, you should get rewarded for that. So, like it should be 5 Zetas if you win. That would make everybody want to do it, because that's worth the effort. You're getting like 3 more Zetas if you win versus if you lose, but they don't do that. So it's like I said, the effort isn't worth the reward sometimes, and that kind of stinks, But
all I gotta say is Maestro just had a walk-off home run, but my man Carl bottom and extra innings. Sorry, I was screaming, so I had to. So.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you want to? I have an interesting little thing regarding my Grand Arena. And that is, and I'll have to do this after the live stream, is that I am fighting myself.
Oh, no way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time, Avinash. You do possess half the accounts of the entire game.
I've been in the same groups before, and that was, unfortunately, it didn't happen before because that was when they canceled them. And I'm like, crap. So, yeah, it's Avi 2 from Bravehearts versus Avinash from Alpha. And so this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get all my feet. I'm going to get my feats done, and I put some interesting teams on both sides to see and just to have some fun. Yeah, that's a new way to do that. Yeah. Yep.
For anybody that was in high school in the late 90s, I just found a treat in my desk drawer for you guys. I'm going to hold it up here for the camera. If anybody remembers this stupid CD. All right.
Deck the halls with bell stuff.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, in Ewok
we are
Christmas
never going to
special.
hear the end of that. Yep.
All right, Durgan asks.
They couldn't hear any of that I said. I had my mic muted. Yeah, so we're all festive, and we're getting ready for Stick Ray with the holiday season.
All right, Durgan asks, South Carolina going to win the East now? No. We could beat Florida next week and still not win the SEC East. DSP asks, Gear 13 Vet Han or Young Han?
Young Han or who?
Vet Han.
I would say Young Han.
For what?
Gear 13.
Oh, Gear 13. Oh, one of those random Gear. I would think Young Han.
I like Vet Han better. Like, I like the character model better and all that stuff, and I like the abilities better. But he's just not as good as Young Han. Not as useful as Young Han in the game right now.
Yeah, I'm working on G13 and Relic, my Gamorrean guard.
Well, Nathaniel Morgan says Vet Han beats Malik.
Yeah, well, I guess if you have a Gear 12 Vet Chewie that you're willing to Gear 13 immediately following Vet Han. If you don't,
yes.
Young Han.
yeah, because the two vets work well together. Otherwise,
Young
I would
Han
go for
is
Young.
a better PvE character for sure.
Well, I'm sorry, I've never seen the Vet Han beat Malik before. I apologize for you guys that are figuring out very, very obscure teams. I've never seen a video about that, so I didn't know that even exists. But I mean, I'm sure that has to be very specific. I mean, like, you definitely have to have a really OP Vet Han to beat Malik.
Vet Han can hit pretty darn hard.
Yeah, like Stick Ray. Have you seen what Stick Ray can do to Malik?
We're gonna have to
Let me-
separate
let me-
Jurgen and TMoney. They can't be in the chat at the same time.
Why?
Just random trolls. They're not like interacting with each other. It's just like reading. I'm skimming through the chat and just like reading their comments in order. It's kind of funny.
That's science.
There was a bunch. I paused it here for a reason. How about a snow? Okay, we're way too far here. Everyone's criticizing me for leaving off snips. Here we go.
All right.
John Moran says, or excuse me, we'll go up to Scott Maldonado first. Actually, how do you mod your B1 in Droidica for the event? How did you guys mod your B1s in Droidicas?
Droidica was super fast with as much offense as I can get on.
Yep.
B1
both
was
of them.
pure offense, like, some speed, right? You want them fast, but you wanted heavy offense around 4,000 for both of them or higher. So, and especially B1.
Yeah, I started with a super fast. I
Crit avoidance arrows on the whole team, which made them survive longer.
Yeah, a lot of
especially if
people
you
were
have lower
suggesting
gills.
that. Droidica.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I
No, you
apologize.
do your thing. No, go.
Okay. What I do is I did Droidica that went first, and then put the shield on immediately. And what that does is it helps when the other separatists hit, then he's got that chance to be able to hit too, and be able to take down the other tunes faster, especially Anakin. Make Anakin kneel faster, and then take down fives. What it boiled down to in the end was that B1 and Droidica were the ones that survived. And if you just keep those two going, then you've got it. And I had Droidica at, I can't remember. I think the damage I got him up to was like 7,200 and something. That was his damage. I don't know if that's high or not, but that's what I got.
I'm sorry. I'm right. I had mine 8,000 or something like that. It's late and I'm still brain numb from this event.
Yeah, so it was like it helped a lot too. The Asajj definitely to help get down with her AoE all those other tunes as well. Once Anakin takes that kneel, and if she doesn't crit, you might as well more or less start over with that, because then they just go to town and you're just down to nothing. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, you don't need a Zeta on 88. The second Zeta on T3 makes it more consistent, but if you put that second Zeta on T3, you have to put that stun gun, the stun gun on the right side. He needs that plus piece, otherwise it's kind of a worthless Zeta, because that stun gun you put on the right side of him gives him 100 extra armor penetration. I think he's got a base of something like 20 or 30 or so. It's not very, Zeta's not worth it, but you add an extra 100 to it is. So just if you do put the Zeta on, just know it comes married with that Tier 12 plus piece. I have it on mine. Some people don't. A lot of the people that made videos on it initially were like, not required but suggested type of thing. So. It's just turn order. BB-8, IPD, 88 T3 Grievous. You got the 7 on Grievous, so you got the hard part done. Just figuring out the tweaking of it. John Moran asks on this, since I missed General Anakin, which of the required characters should I lean on the most to gear and how high?
They're saying someone's saying that you're on mute.
Yeah, I am. Okay, so sorry about that. You know, I was asking about the droid team with General Grievous and T3 and BB-8 and IG-88, and I was asking what Zeta I should put on next, and they're basically saying that I just need to tweak with what I have, and that should be enough. So I don't think I have them modded correctly. Probably that's probably what it is.
All right, let's get these questions done because good old Maurice is starting to fade.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here soon.
Well, this one is a good one though. Since he missed the event, which of the required characters should I lean on the most to gear and how high?
For the event?
Yeah, he's for the next time the event comes around, he wants to be ready for it ahead of time. What characters are the most important? I guess. Most important. To gear
Well, I
first.
think for T2, I think Kenobi and Ahsoka key, and then for the Phase 4, it's B1 definitely in a. I think are the two.
Same for me. And just what you do, man, like take GK up because if you're going to use Negotiator, but the rest of them just have a ton of relic materials ready to go and just kind of pop them on as you need them. Like if you don't want to put relics on Asajj and B1, don't ahead of time and just kind of place them on until you see that it's going to be enough offense for you to get over the hump.
And just get ready. And just get ready for when the event returns. Just be prepared so that right away you can get everything you need.
I would have a Zeta in your pocket too, extra, just in case you need to put it on Droideka.
You gotta have that Zeta on Droideka.
Yeah, Droideka definitely.
I don't think I could have done it without the Zeta.
Same.
I didn't do it, and then I put the Zeta on, and I got it the next time.
Yeah, Loki was in that same boat. He was like, he put the Zeta on Droideka, and I was like, dude, you're gonna have to put the Zeta on. Now, and then finally he's like, you're right, I had to see how on. So.
And by the way, TMoney, good old Maurice is handsome, very handsome. Okay, that's why I make sure his face is on here every time.
Well, he's not as handsome as Stick Ray, but
yeah,
Stick Ray is probably the most handsome. Stick Ray breaks the screen. That's why I can't show her on the screen. All right, do we have any more questions?
Should we, Dutch asks, should we be going for Resistance or First Order now? Can't say both.
I don't think either, to be honest with you. It's kind of weird because we've used First Order already for an event, right? And did we ever have to use Resistance for an event before? Yes, we did, right?
Yeah, we did.
So
First Order you have to get for BB-8, but like that.
Maybe it'll be Resistance, First Order, and ships, and CLS. Maybe there'll be 20 characters this time.
Somehow, and Stick Ray will all be a part of it.
No, they're going to start. What they're trying to do, I think, sometime is they're trying to dredge up the bottom of the rosters and making people level those up to be able to use in these events.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I've really kind of noticed that they're kind of picking some tunes that we've really had to work on that you never did before.
What if you need General Anakin to get the new Stick Ray? Boom!
That would make total sense. I am by far the least savvy in terms of lore on the panel, and I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. But
there could be, I guess, Rose Tico and Haldo could be necessary. Yeah, that could be a thing.
Rose Tico could definitely be required. In terms of First Order Resistance, I think if you're looking for a defensive team, go for First Order. If you're looking for an offense team, maybe go Resistance. I don't know. Who knows? But as of right now, I don't know. Need a pretty stellar character to turn Resistance into a deep. They've never been a good defensive team.
I think as we get closer to December, they're going to release marquee characters for the movie that you'll probably need to have for the event. So we'll probably get a new character early, and then that character you'll have like 3 days to farm before the event starts. That's how it'll work.
Science.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. I appreciate everybody sticking it out with us. This was a fun stream, but it's getting late, and we got work tomorrow. But we'll be back next week with some more fun. Maybe we'll have some more answers and some more information about ARC Trooper and, some other things that are coming. Lightside GOTB is definitely right around the corner, so be ready for that. Get your Galactic Republic ready, guys. They're going to be required, I promise you. And also, we'll be doing a couple other streams during the week. So, what's going on this week for Reality Skewed Gamers, Ranger?
Recovering. I mean, as little as possible. Just normal stuff, lunch streams, Wednesday stream, Saturday we'll do Jedi Academy, and we'll be doing other games on different channels and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians, for sure.
Hey, those Canadians.
And what about you, Abby? What's going on with the Boba's Alliance podcast this week?
Oh, yes. It just came out the other day, so that's posted on our YouTube channel at Boba's Alliance. And other than that, I'm just looking forward to the next one, which will be in just over a week. I haven't decided what the subject is yet, but
okay.
Who knows? It might be, how to whine about these kind of events type thing. Maybe.
How to whine about Anakin with shoulder pads. But I mean, so definitely check out the link to Reality Skewed Gamers and Boba's podcast in the description as well. And finally, last but not least, Operation Metaverse with TMoney and Maurice. What's going on with you guys this week?
Well, we got a stream on Tuesday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guess we're going to begin our quest to, give everybody a few days, weeks, months to get all their counter attacks together. But just try to start figuring out counters to this 501st incoming meta. I guess that's kind of what we'll be working on. So it might take a few days, weeks, but we're going to find something. So,
all right, definitely make sure to check out the Operation Metaverse live show on Tuesday night. Again, link is in the description for that as well. But appreciate everybody coming out late on a Sunday night. It was a lot of fun. We will get back to business again next Sunday, same time, same place. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Again, appreciate all the support. Please do leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not. Write a comment and let me know how you feel. I'll see you guys on the next one, and may the Force be with you. Have a good night, everybody.